Ryan Salazar here with Broadcast Beat. We've got a very special guest today. We know him very well, Paul Turner, Vice President of Product Management at Telestream. How are you, Paul?
Doing good, Ryan. How about you?
Doing great. So it was awesome seeing you guys at the 2016 NAB show. Telestream recently had some big news. Talk about your live server products.
Sure. Well, we came out with a new set of products based on live encoding. We've been known for a long time on the file-based encoding side of the shop. But at this NAB, we launched a product called Lightspeed Live. It's actually an appliance. It's a server that takes in real-time video, and then a miracle happens, and then that video goes out either as adaptive bitrate, so you can stream it to tablets, cell phones, set-top boxes, or you can put a separate service on it, which allows you to actually capture that input video and turn it into very high bitrate mezzanine files to be used for your post-production needs. So the beauty of this thing is that this appliance can run the streaming service and be a streamer for you today. It can run the capture service and be a capture device for you tomorrow. And the day after that, it can be doing both of them at the same time. So it's really cool. It allows you to hit all of those real-time needs. It's 4K capable out of the shop. It's 60 frames per second out of the box. It's also capable of giving you a proxy for each input while they're creating these output files to go to either streaming or to go over to your capture service. So we're really excited about it. It gives us some significant future-proofing, if you will, of the product, in that it takes care of 4K already. It's already capable of taking in video over IP or via SDI. So really exciting stuff.
And Paul, it seems that 4K was finally eclipsed by talk of HDR at the NAB show this year, and I'm sure the same will be at Broadcast Asia. So HDR, not just 4K, could truly drive consumer demand. How big of a challenge will HDR be for the industry to deliver?
Well, again, it's an interesting one. One of the things that we've been seeing in the past is this drive towards having even more pixels on the screen. So there's 8K, could we go to 16K? HDR is, in and of itself, a pretty simple idea. It changes the way that you're encoding the video as a data stream, and allows you to get way more dynamic range into the image. The only problem with it is that there's no real standard completely ratified yet for production of the material. The Consumer Electronics group have come together and defined what an HDR-capable TV set should be defined as. But there is currently no one fixed specification for how you deliver that material to the set. So the problem that we've got as manufacturers and as content creators is until such time as there becomes a single standard that everybody agrees with, you kind of have to take care of both standards. And the difference really is when you create your material, does that material get created only for HDR sets to reproduce, in which case you can go for a completely new signal chain, or do you want to do something where perhaps you add the HDR information as a sidecar to the standard dynamic range material, so that domestic sets can play them back if they're standard dynamic range, or if they're high dynamic range. And the judge and jury are still out on that one. So I think the challenge that we've got on the production side is that there is no single standard for us to work for. Now, for us, the beauty of all of this is our products already have a 16-bit pipeline, video pipeline in them. And you have to go to 16-bit to be able to do many of the variants that are available for HDR. So that's one of the things that we're watching. We're already HDR capable. If you go in a specific format like HDR10 and you're coming out with an HDR10 curve, we can take care of that already. But what we're watching right now is how the industry, and by the industry I mean the production side of the world, decides that they want to go in terms of which formats they want to actually master in. So it's going to be interesting.
So Paul, what can the industry do in general to help find more efficiencies and save money?
Well, I mean, there's always improvements in coding. Compression. If you don't like the compression scheme we've got this year, just wait, and there'll be another one next year. The efficiencies that we're seeing on things like HEVC, they're real. We're getting to the point where the licensing issues, which I think have been the overwhelming anchor, if you will, to us not being able to necessarily move forward as fast as we want to, those are getting resolved. But it's always down to standardization. And if you have market forces choosing, there's always going to be a degree of time, a period where you kind of have to support all of them. So I'm hoping that this will all shake out in the next year or so. And things like HDR10 is kind of a de facto standard. The work that Warner Brothers has been doing for the Ultra HD consortium, that certainly is going to help. I think it really comes down to, though, we've got to get ourselves into a position where there's only one or maybe two variants that we have to support, and that will then be economically viable for both the producers of the media and the producers of the equipment that produce the media.
All right, again, Paul Turner, Vice President of Product Management at Telestream. We're going to see you at the 2016 Broadcast Asia Show, stand number, well, it's the 5th floor, on stand J3-03. You're going to be at the Tactile stand. And then 5th floor, C2-01 with Magna Systems. Again, Paul Turner, thank you so much, sir.
Looking forward to seeing you guys in Asia.